First up, if I could ask you, you're the first Indian woman to have been nominated for the post of a member of the International Olympic Committee. What does this mean to you?
Actually, I'm humbled and privileged at this nomination by the International Olympic Committee. I think it is a recognition of the growing importance of India on world stage. I've always believed in the power of sports to shape the future of our youth. I believe sports brings communities, cultures and generations together, and it has the power to unify and unite people.
Right, ma'am, your involvement with sports, of course, is not new. You're involved with cricket in India. There's football and basketball as well. How come the interest in Olympic sport?
I received the letter from the International Olympic Committee today, and I look forward to really contributing towards the goals of the International Olympic Committee. I think this honor actually is a recognition of India and Indian women. Indian women have done well on the world sports stage. I mean, from P.T. Usha to Mary Kom, Saina, Deepika Kumari. So, at Reliance Foundation, this gives us the boost to work towards making India a multi-sport nation, especially towards developing and nurturing young talent in sports.
Right, ma'am, since you took the name of some of India's most prominent athletes there, if I could ask you, you are now going to be a link of sorts between these athletes from our country and the International Olympic Committee. So, as a nominee right now and perhaps as a member later, what's going to be your first task at hand?
I'm looking forward to spreading the spirit of Olympics and sports throughout our nation.
Okay.
I think, as I said earlier, I have this huge belief in the power of sports to shape the future of the youth of our country.
Okay, ma'am, if I could ask you, about 4 years ago, India actually was ousted from the Olympic movement. The Indian Olympic Association didn't follow the Olympic Charter while conducting their elections, and it resulted in IOA being out of the IOC. How would you ensure, if you do go on to become a member, that the spirit of the Olympic movement that you also mentioned is actually followed by the IOA back here in India?
I believe sports is about everything. And I'm really looking forward to going to Rio on the 1st of August and hearing much more about the Olympic goals and how we can contribute to making Olympics and making sports of great importance right from the time our children enter school onwards.
Right, you mentioned there about going to the Olympics to Rio. Speaking of the Olympics, the president of the IOC, Dr. Thomas Bach, of course, was in India some time back and did show the keenness of having India hosting the Olympic Games someday in the future. Would you like to see India host the Olympics one day? And if so, how do you plan to go about convincing the authorities here in India?
As I said, all this has just sunk in.
Okay.
I've just got the letter from the International Olympic Committee. I look forward to first attending my meeting at Rio and then taking the next step forward.
Okay, so you said you are of course going to be on that flight to Rio, ma'am, watching the Olympics also. Any particular events you'd probably be interested in watching there?
I have to tell you one thing is that I have been for all the last 4 Olympics, from Greece to China to London, and now I'm looking forward to Rio. And I think it is wonderful to see how everyone, the whole world comes together at this one time. My personal moments have always been athletics, swimming, gymnast. I mean, and I'd love to see tennis. So I'm really looking forward to being in Rio in August.